We were paying a lot of money in rent, and we realized that we don't need to have a big place because we spend most of our time outdoors, and so we decided to downsize and buy a tiny house.
My name is Dylan.
My name is Ben. We live in a tiny house here in Billings, Montana. You'll notice it's got a nice half-log exterior. The wood really gives it that Montana feel. So I've got my boat over here.
In Billings, we've got the Yellowstone River to float. Since living in the tiny house, we definitely get outside a lot more.
We purchased our eco-built home, and we loved it so much that I actually decided to start working for the company. It allows us to keep our house on the sales lot and just have the freedom to work on our own schedule. Let's take a look inside. Welcome to our home. This is 240 square feet. This would be, I guess, our living room. So pretty good sized living room if you're talking about tiny houses. Most tiny houses are only 8 feet wide. This is 16 feet wide. The reason we can go 16 feet wide versus 8 feet is because this kitchen floor here will actually slide right over top of the living room here, and our house contracts to half its size. We can load it on a standard flatbed trailer and move it anywhere in the country. Makes it really easy to pick up and go. Anytime you live in a small space, you have to think about storage. And so I was able to take an old pallet, actually, and I cut the pallet in half, and I created a shelf out of it. I was able to take some old barn wood here, which has some really great texture, and all I did basically was cut it to fit. I put some stain on it, which is just going to preserve it.
I put some stain on it.
She did a little staining for us. And that's where we keep a lot of our clothes and different things out of the way.
Over in this corner, we've got our TV, which is really nice because it can swivel and rotate. So we're able to watch our TV from bed, or we can turn it if we're in the kitchen, and it tucks back nicely in there. And so over here we have our bedroom. We were able to fit a queen-size bed here, which was very important to us. We also built this bed frame, and we wanted it higher off the ground so that we could have storage underneath. Storage is obviously very important. So we've got a few totes and storage bins underneath, and we also made room for our dog, Remy. It's kind of his little bedroom down there.
He's a little border collie rescue from Hamilton, Montana. He thinks this is his house. He just lets us live here. Oh, buddy. Let's take a look at the kitchen. A small kitchen, but actually I think you'll find that everything's here. We've got a 2-burner stovetop here, which is really nice. And another thing is we've created some extra storage. So you notice the shelves we've got up here. I just took a couple screws and some L brackets, and we took some wood here and stained it.
Living in a tiny house, you realize you don't need as many plates and cups as you would think. So between these shelves and the cabinets here, we've definitely got enough storage.
And then I took an old pallet again. I kind of like these pallets. I was able to build a spice rack.
And over here we have our kitchen table where we sit and eat. It's also nice, if I'm baking or cooking, to use this as extra counter space.
We were able to find a really nice place to store some of the guts, you might say, in the house. Actually, this whole unit here will actually swing out. So I'll demonstrate that now. You just grab here, open this up, and you can see in here you've got your hot water tank. That's a 20-gallon hot water tank. Just easy to get to and easy to service. Well, let's take a look at the bathroom. For me, the biggest thing was the shower. We actually have a full-size shower here, plenty of room. For me to be able to come home after work, take a hot shower, that's a really big deal. So I was actually able to build a little shelf that kind of goes over the toilet here, just out of some pine. We saw this space as just kind of wasted. This is actually a horseshoe that we've incorporated to just like a little rack here. Dylan's able to keep her jewelry and stuff here. Easy access when she's getting ready for work in the morning. Just kind of unique.
I really like that our tiny house has just enough storage without feeling overcrowded.
We've put just a little shelf in here and makes a little rack here for our clothes. You might notice, we don't have a lot of clothes. That's kind of the idea. If you're living in a small space, you don't need 15 pair of jeans.
Now that we live in a tiny house, we have a lot less stuff. Sometimes the things you own end up owning you. So we have a little extra money to go do the things we love.
So downsizing and living in a simpler way has allowed us to free up a little bit of our discretionary income. It's allowed us to do the things that we love.
I know Remy loves that we're in a tiny house now, because now we play a lot more outside with him.
Way to go, buddy.